Every spring, millions of hockey fans hold their breath waiting for one moment. One trophy, one name called out above all the rest. But on this night, March 18, 1892, none of that existed yet. Stick with me, because the story of how it all began is better than you think. It is a cold March evening in Ottawa, Canada. Inside the Russell House Hotel, the finest gathering spot in the city, around 70 hockey fans and players have packed into a banquet hall to celebrate the Ottawa Hockey Club's championship season. There is food, there are toasts, there is a great deal of pride in the room. And then, around 10 o'clock at night, a man named Lord Kilcorsey stands up and asks for everyone's attention. He has a letter to read. Here is the part of the story that gets me every single time. Lord Stanley of Preston, the Governor-General of Canada, appointed by Queen Victoria herself, was one of the most powerful men on the continent. He had been raised in the drawing rooms of British aristocracy, cricket, horse racing, formal society. That was his world. And then he came to Canada, and his children discovered hockey. His sons formed their own team, the Ottawa Rideau Hall Rebels. His daughter Isabel took up the sport as well, at a time when women simply did not play. The whole Stanley family fell completely and utterly in love with this rough, fast, joyful game being played on frozen ponds across Canada. And Lord Stanley, watching all of this, had a thought, a simple, generous thought. This sport deserves a prize, something permanent, something the best team in the land could hold and call their own. So, on that March evening, while the banquet celebrated Ottawa's champions, Lord Kilcorsey read Lord Stanley's words aloud to the room. And those words were this: "I have for some time been thinking that it would be a good thing if there were a Challenge Cup held from year to year by the champion hockey team in the Dominion of Canada. There does not appear to be any such outward sign of a championship at present. I am willing to give a cup which shall be held from year to year by the winning team." The room erupted. Lord Stanley himself was not even there that night. He had sent his words in a letter and trusted someone else to deliver them. He never did get to see his cup presented to a champion. He was called back to England before that could happen. But what he started that evening has never stopped. That simple silver bowl, purchased in London for about $50, is now the oldest trophy in professional sports in North America. More than 130 years of champions have had their names engraved on it. When a band fills up, it is retired to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and a new one begins. The names never stop being added, and every single player who has ever lifted that cup over their head traces that moment back to one British aristocrat who watched his children play on a frozen pond and thought, "This deserves to be celebrated." Lord Stanley could not have known what he was starting. He was just a father watching something he loved, wanting to honor it. And because he did, generations of players have had something to chase their entire lives, something to hold, something to believe in. That is what a single generous act can do, echoing forward for over a century, still going. And that brings me to something I want you to think about today. Lord Stanley's gift was not just a silver bowl, it was a story, a tradition, something his family loved, passed forward to the world. You have gifts like that too. Maybe not a trophy, but you have things you love, stories you carry, moments that meant everything to you, that the people who come after you deserve to know about. Have you ever thought about what it would mean to write those stories down, to leave behind not just your name, but the real you? The things you laughed at, the things that moved you, the winters that shaped you, the people you loved. Because here is what I know to be true. No one else on earth can tell your story. It lives only in you. And the people who come after you will want it more than you can imagine, more than any trophy, more than any possession. Lord Stanley gave hockey a cup. You can give the people you love something far more precious than that. If this story sparked something in you today, you are exactly where you belong. Every single day, History Sparks brings you a story like this one. Real people, real moments, gifts that were given without knowing how far they would reach. Hit that subscribe button right now and join this community because that is what it truly is. A community of people who believe that history is alive, that stories matter, and that every life, including yours, is absolutely worth remembering. Come back tomorrow. We have a brand new story waiting for you, and I promise you are not going to want to miss it. Welcome to History Sparks. We are so glad you are here.